Tonight on Texas News Channel, former UT tennis coach received his prison sentence.
We have an update on this year's students' government debate.
And students at Jester dorms are left without light or water.
You're watching Texas News Channel,
Your leader for live, local UT coverage. Good evening and welcome to Texas News Channel for Monday, February 24th. I'm Alexa Sherry.
And I'm Sandy Torres. Thank you for joining us tonight.
We begin tonight with new developments in the college admissions scandal. Former UT head tennis coach Michael Center was sentenced to 6 months in prison. The sentence was handed down at a Boston courthouse this afternoon. Center will also have 1 year of supervised release after his prison term. He pled guilty for wire fraud last April after he was accused of accepting a $100,000 bribe to help get a student into UT as a tennis recruit, even though that student never played tennis. UT fired Center last March, soon after the scandal broke. In a landmark verdict for the #MeToo movement, disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein was convicted of 2 counts of rape and sexual assault in New York. The jury found Weinstein guilty of 3rd-degree rape of actress Jessica Mann and 1st-degree sexual assault of former production assistant Mimi Haley. The jury acquitted Weinstein of 2 counts of predatory sexual assault, which would have carried a maximum life sentence. After today's verdict, the judge ordered Weinstein to report to jail immediately until his sentencing, which is scheduled for March 11th.
If you are registered to vote in Texas, the time to make your decision has arrived. Early voting has officially begun here on the 40 acres and will continue until February 29th. You won't have to go far to cast your ballot. There are voting locations at the PCL and FAC on campus. They are open daily from 7 in the morning to 7 at night.
Senator Bernie Sanders concluded a weekend of campaigning in Texas with a stop in Austin. The presidential candidate held a rally Sunday evening following his victory in Nevada. Former candidate Marianne Williamson also made a surprise appearance at the rally to announce her endorsement of Sanders. Austin was the 4th Texas city to get a visit from Sanders ahead of Super Tuesday's primaries. Tonight, candidates for UT student government gathered at the SAC for their only debate on university-wide issues ahead of next week's elections. During the debate, each candidate for the university-wide representatives gave their thoughts on campus issues like West Campus crime, scheduling changes, and tailgating for football games. Candidates for the Executive Alliance also spoke on stage. Elections will open on March 2nd. You can vote online with your UT EID. Results will be announced on March 6th.
The UT Police Department is investigating 2 burglaries from over the weekend. The first burglary happened at the 2400 Nueces apartment complex in West Campus. Police say someone reported stolen items from a storage hallway in the parking garage. The second burglary happened at the Health Transportation building near the Dell Medical School. Money was reported stolen from a locked drawer in an office. If you have any information about these burglaries, you're asked to call UTPD at 512-471-4441. Students living in the Jester dorm had a rough couple of days. On Thursday night, Jester East and West lost power for several hours. The water was also out in Jester West. The resident halls used energy from a generator to power emergency lights in the buildings, lobbies, and hallways. Power was not fully restored to Jester West until Friday. We talked to one student about how they dealt with this inconvenience.
So the power outage was
University Housing and Dining Services say
11 flights of stairs. It was really annoying. I had a midterm the next day and I couldn't really charge my computer or my phone, so I couldn't really study at all, and it didn't come back until like 2 a.m.-ish.
University Housing and Dining Services say a broken pipe in the basement was the cause of the outages.
The union representing CAP Metro drivers says they've reached a verbal agreement with MV Transportation and are not planning to strike at this time. Last week, CAP Metro drivers were planning to go on strike if they did not reach an agreement over contract negotiations. The union representing Cap Metro workers wanted equal pay for all drivers in Austin bus depots. Last week, Cap Metro drivers wore black underneath their eyes to protest the tense contract negotiations. Union members will vote on the contract agreement March 1st.
Researchers here at UT created the first 3D map of the coronavirus. The map shows a part of the virus called the spike protein, which infects human cells. Researchers hope that this will help develop a vaccine for the virus, which has infected 78,000 people worldwide. Researchers were able to create this map with state-of-the-art technology in their UT lab. One researcher told us how this new map will help them in their coronavirus research.
We're trying to use it to isolate monoclonal antibodies, so antibodies from people who have been exposed to SARS or people who have been exposed to this new virus, in the hopes that the antibodies that these people have raised could be potential therapeutics for people who are still infected.
A recent survey from the UT Senate says students are not in favor of the university's tuition increase. The survey, which received over 2,000 responses, showed that 97% of students were against the tuition increase at first. But when told what UT's plans are for money, only 40% were opposed. Senate President Elena Ivanova said the primary focus of the survey is to align next year's budget with student feedback. Coming up on Texas News Channel, where will our trash go?
And why Longhorns are parking far from campus?
Last Saturday, UT celebrated Girl Day, a day dedicated to encouraging young girls to pursue STEM. Over 8,000 elementary and middle school girls attended the event. To find out more about Girl Day, tune in to GMTX this Wednesday at 7 a.m.
Barbie has announced 3 new dolls to his Inspiring Women series. These role models include the tennis star Billie Jean King, the jazz singer Ella Fitzgerald, and the modern nursing founder Florence Nightingale. Each of the women are being honored with their very own doll in hopes of helping young children imagine all the possibilities of paths they can pursue.
In the spirit of inspiring women, NASA mathematician Katherine Johnson died earlier today at the age of 101. Johnson is credited for making the calculations that sync Project Apollo's lunar landers with the command and service module. Johnson's work was the inspiration for the award-winning film Hidden Figures. In a tweet, NASA Administrator Jim Friedenstein called Johnson an American hero. A police student loan assistance program will provide officers with up to $20,000 in aid over 5 years. This program will assist officers hired after September 1st and begin accepting applications in September. The program hopes to encourage existing offers to pursue education and recruit more officers moving forward.
APD is investigating the death of a man found near a large homeless camp Sunday. There were signs of trauma to the man's body, which was found in a wooded area of the 5900 block of South Mopac. Police said in a press conference Sunday that the homeless camp had been evacuated while investigators processed the scene. Austin City Council members are pushing the city staff for former timelines on addressing homelessness initiatives. The city is working on creating more housing units and connecting the homeless community to shelters and services near them. In November, Austin City Council approved on an $8 million purchase of the Roadway Inn along Interstate 35. The city plans to convert the motel into a homeless shelter. The city will finalize the deal in mid-April after environmental assessments of the property are complete.
A man connected to a string of underwear thefts from a laundry room at St. Edward's University was sentenced to 18 months in state jail. 27-year-old Jacob Dale Davidson stole nearly 60 pairs of underwear from women that used the facility. According to the Travis County District Attorney, Davidson was caught by a student and photographed as he tried to leave. Davidson was arrested last October for the thefts. Austin city leaders voted down a recent emergency waste management contract for where the trash from hundreds of the city buildings will go. The contract proposed that trash would go to the community landfill in Northeast Austin, which the council has been against for years. The city's current contract expires February 28th. so the council may have to call a special meeting next week to secure a new contract.
Students with Class C parking permits are now being forced to park all the way on the other side of I-35 due to construction of the new Moody Center. 2 out of the 6 parking lots available have been closed since the construction started in December. The only way to get better parking locations is by upgrading, which some students refuse to do because of the increase in price. Parking and transportation services encourage students to use other modes of transportation. However, many students say they're unreliable. We spoke to a Longhorn for their thoughts on the situation.
I kind of stay on campus pretty late, so I have to walk like all the way back here at night, and so like mostly it is by myself, but I don't know. I just have to be more cautious.
Honestly, I don't even know what to wear when I walk outside anymore.
I know, right? It's either my flip-flops or my rain boots.
Let's check in with Mercedes Gonzalez for a look at this week's weather. Mercedes?
Thanks, Alexa. Will you be reaching for your sweater or finally be able to show off your spring wardrobe? Stay tuned. Welcome back, Longhorns. The weekend brought some unexpected chills, and it looks like it's here to stay. Whether you're out on a late-night study session or staying at home binge-watching Netflix, looks like you'll want to stay indoors tonight. Well, we're having mostly clear skies, expecting a low around 48. Tomorrow, we'll welcome the sun, but don't reach for your shorts just yet. We'll be seeing some highs in the mid-60s and lows in the upper 30s. Wednesday won't be much different with a sunny day with highs in the mid-50s and lows in the lower 30s. When Thursday rolls around, we'll see yet another sunny day with highs in the lower 60s and lows in the upper 30s. Come Friday, days will start warming up with highs in the upper 60s and lows in the lower 40s. So maybe avoid a night out on 6. When the weekend rolls around, we'll see temperatures in the mid-70s, lows in the mid-40s, and for Saturday, highs in the upper 70s and with lows in the upper 50s. I don't know about you, but I am loving all this sun. That's it from me. Live from the Weather Center, I'm Mercedes Gonzalez.
Welcome back to Texas News Channel. Joining me from TSTV Sports is Hannah Burbank.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Texas baseball is on a roll. The Longhorns have started the season at 8-0. They captured another big victory against UTSA. Here's Jaxie Pigeon at the dish with the scoop.
This past Tuesday, the Texas Longhorns took on the UTSA Roadrunners in Austin. On this rainy and cold day, the dish still managed to have a crowd of over 4,000. The Longhorns got off to a slow start against UTSA's pitcher Pepper Jones, who pitched 3 hitless innings. In the 4th frame, Duke Ellis had a solid bunt to get things rolling for the Horns. UTSA's 2-0 lead was quickly blown with Texas's 5-run 4th inning.
It's great because we've been ahead in the first 3 games. Tonight, like I said, we're down 2-0.
Sophomore Cole Quintanilla was the starting pitcher for the Longhorns. This was his first springtime start at Texas, and he threw 71 pitches and had 5 strikeouts.
I thought after the first couple of hitters, he really got into the flow of the game. And that's something that he has to learn if he's coming out of the pen. And a lot of our guys is that, give it your best with an aggressive mentality on the first pitch. And if you run out of gas, we'll go from there.
In his second career start, freshman Silas Ardwin went 2 for 4 at the plate with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored.
He's got a good swing. He's got a very good approach. He was very confident at Rice. He had 3 walks in his first start. And that's very unusual for a freshman because, everything speeds up. And you could really tell that the game was really slow for him. It's a great sign. And he's doing a wonderful job behind the plate, too. But it's fun. It's fun to watch their energy, to watch them grow every single day.
The Longhorns had a dominant pitching performance in the latter half of the game, led by Pete Hansen. This secured their first home win of the season. Hansen finished this game in style, striking out UTSA's Shane Serdashny. He pitched the last 3 innings and had 4 strikeouts to record his first career save. With a true team effort and a big help from the freshman, the Longhorns were able to secure the 6-2 win over their Roadrunners. From the dish, I'm Jaxie Pigeon, TSTV Sports.
David Pierce has to be happy with this team considering they are so young.
Absolutely. Pierce said this freshman class is among the best he has ever seen. Now let's move from the diamond to the hardwood. Saturday, the Longhorns hosted Kansas State, locking in on improving their Big 12 standing. Yet, they ran into a surprise. Let's head to the Frank Irwin Center for the highlights. Starting the 3rd quarter, Jade Underwood gets a steal for Texas, and Suge Sutton knocks it down, to pull it up for the Longhorns. Sutton Angela Harris dribbles down the court for the Wildcats with a crossover at the top of the key and scoops it up for two. Sutton responds and drives down for Texas with a near miss, and Charlie Collier with the putback. A little later on the end of the court, Harris sinks a three for the Wildcats, closing out the third quarter. Now moving on to the fourth, LaShawn Higgs battles and gets a rebound for Texas, where she dribbles down and finds teammate Isabel Palmer, who passes quickly to Underwood and back to Higgs, who bodies her way to put it up for Texas. Joyner Holmes adds to the score with a baseline jumper to put up 2 points for Texas. Midway through the fourth quarter, Wildcats battled, but Collier and Underwood double team for the block. Harris seals the deal for K-State, knocking down an elbow jumper. Texas falls to the Wildcats 60-54.
A surprise comeback by the Wildcats. How will Texas respond?
Texas has to pick up their pace since they have 3 games, big games, against ranked teams or opponents ahead of them.
Thanks so much for being with us, Hannah. We'll be right back with your entertainment news.
Welcome back to Texas News Channel. I'm Megan Fee. Kanye West collaborated with yet another A-lister. Justin Bieber joined West in singing a few gospel tunes yesterday. A Sunday service put on by West and supported by wife Kim Kardashian West was one of many gatherings the family has engaged friends and family with. Kardashian West's video shows the crowd reacting to Bieber's croon and religious performance. Who knows what celebrity West will invite to his next festivity? President Donald Trump is supposedly not a big fan of the movie Parasite due to the fact that it was filmed in South Korea. Trump bashed the Academy's decision, asking, "What was that all about?" The director shot back by saying Trump would probably have a hard time reading the subtitles. Whether you're a fan of the foreign film or not, the film claimed 4 wins at the Oscars. Whitney Houston's hologram tour is in full effect. Starting February 25th, Houston will go on tour around Europe nearly 8 years after her death. The concerts will include some of her biggest hits, with backup dancers and singers included. Pat Houston, Whitney's sister-in-law, stated that this is what Whitney would have wanted. This past weekend marked the 40th anniversary of Team USA's defeat over the Soviet Union in the 1980 Olympic hockey match. This will lead the American underdogs to receive the Olympic gold medal. Several of the Miracle on Ice athletes are celebrating this milestone by reuniting with a weekend trip to Las Vegas. Well, that's it for me. I'm Megan Fee. Back to you.
Thanks, Megan. And as always, we thank you for tuning in.
You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Texas News TSTV.
If you have a news tip, you can reach us on all of our social media sites or email us at news@texasstudenttv.com.
You can catch Good Morning Texas Wednesdays at 7 a.m. and Tower Talks Wednesdays at 6 p.m. I'm Sandy Torres.
And I'm Alexa Sherry. From all of us at TNC, good night, and we'll see you back here next week.